Renaissance essay on Renaissance for students and children in English. The meaning of word Renaissance means rebirth. The period was named so as the period was almost sort of a rebirth of human thinking capabilities, art, culture, morals, etc. in Europe between the 14th and 16th century. The period is debated over at times. The Renaissance has been associated with the great social change which followed the later medieval period, a period of crisis. It is said that the period of Renaissance was a break from the Middle Ages, but some argue that it was an extension of the Middle Ages. Humanism is what defined the earliest ages of the Renaissance, which came into being and formation because of the events of the later Middle Ages, such as the fall of the Roman Catholic Church and intellectual reawakening. Humanism developed earlier in Italy by secular men like Leonardo Bruni, Giovanni Pico della Mirandola, etc., instead of scholars, clerics who had dominated intellectual awakening in the Middle Ages. Dante was one of the predecessors of humanism. The concept of humanism was derived from the concept of Roman humanitas and the rediscovery that was done regarding Greek philosophy, one of them being the Protagoras. Fall of Constantinople worked as a boost for humanism, and many scholars arrived in Italy with books and manuscripts from Greece. Humanism emphasized took all forms of human manifestations as a subject, emphasized the dignity of man, and highlighted the compatibility and unity of all truth in syncretism. Art and architecture, science, culture, geography, religion, political establishment, and human thinking all went through massive changes during the period of Renaissance. In art, during the Renaissance, the point perspective was established, and artists like Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Raphael flourished. Even though Michelangelo and Raphael were contemporaries and both had their unique styles with the touch of Renaissance art, and hence were both celebrated for their difference and similarities. Da Vinci's work on human anatomy is something that the world will be ever grateful for. Thus, intermingling art and science also led to scientific and medieval changes and improvements during the Renaissance. Europeans set out in the world and found out about the various other continents and established trade connections, which later led to colonization with them. Christopher Columbus is one big name during this period because he was responsible for the finding of the New World. Even though Columbus intended to find a different route to India, hence, when he landed on the New World, he thought it was India. The scientific fieldwork of Copernicus, Vesalius, Galileo, Kepler, etc. is celebrated. Copernicus' book on the revolutions of the heavenly sphere, translated into English, and Vesalius' book on the workings of the human body paved the way for several other scientific innovations and discoveries, which many historians argue paved the way of modern age to set in. The Renaissance period, to be defined in a single sentence, was the period of light, discoveries, rebirth, and reawakening.